Hello, friends, and welcome. You're turning into episode 318 of Play Along Podcast, the podcast where we play through games. And in today's episode, we are starting our brand new book club series, going through the game Immortals of Aveum, which is going to be an interesting time. This game got some interesting reviews at launch, and very split reviews. And we'll get into it. In this episode, we will be covering chapters 1 through 5 of the game, meeting the cast, meeting our main character, going through the world. There's a lot of lore. This episode's going to be very lore heavy with all the stuff we're going to be talking about, a lot of set dressing, a lot of world building. But I'm excited to get into it. I'm your host, Jared, and I'm joined by Kai and Ben as always. Gentlemen, how's it going?
It's going,
It's good.
It is.
We're figuring out this game and what is going on and how it works. I'm pretty sure we're the Avatar. That's what I've gotten so far.
We are I made the same joke to myself while playing this game.
It is kind of Avatar-y, isn't it? Yeah.
It's funny because it's like we're the Avatar, but it seems very nonchalant about it. It's like,
Yeah.
You can wield all magic. Who fucking cares? It's like, oh.
We'll get into that because that was something that kind of confused me because it seems kind of a big deal, but also nobody really seems to care.
I wonder if we'll get, again, now I'm already speculating on stuff. What if it's like Legend of Korra, where it's like she's the Avatar, but the Avatar has like this like stink to it now, this tinge of like with Aang and all the stuff that he did, and now the Avatar is not as much of a big deal. So like people, and plus there's some characters that look down on us. They're like, oh, you're special because you got given all magic. Now you think you're special and everything too, which is, again, this is like the set of like, you didn't have to work hard to get to where you are because you have these all magical powers. You can control all types of magic kind of deal.
Yeah. And, there's some characters who literally look down on us. I forget the name of the muscle mummy in the game, but...
I messaged you and Matt about this when she popped up.
But
Guy, do you not agree? She's hot.
She's fine. She's very aggressive as a human being. So
but sometimes that's what you want, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah. How are you, Jared? Outside of Immortals?
Well, you guys know behind the scenes, we struggle for an hour getting my camera set up. Not that it didn't work, but it didn't work to the quality that I wanted it to. But here we are.
Yeah,
here we are. You can see all my baby stuff in the background.
Yeah, I want to put an asterisk. Jared freaked out about his camera while me and Kai caught up and I played Yu-Gi-Oh! That was basically what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't really know how to help you, bro. I think you just got to get a webcam. I think so
too.
And maybe like a giant sheet to just put over all
Yeah.
I just need a green screen. I'll just put a green screen. I'll clean my room, take a photo of it, green screen it so the room looks like there's nothing back there, and then I'll just do that.
That's some Asmon Gold shit.
You're talking about the lady that's like, she's not really that jacked. She's just giant, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Do you see that vein in her bicep, dude? She is jacked.
She's not that attractive.
I
was really confused.
She's just a muscle mommy.
Okay, but he sent it to you being like,
oh no, he was very into it.
He said you don't think she's hot. No,
this works for me. I think so.
Okay.
The ponytail, the red makeup. I'm digging it.
We have Rhea Ripley at home. This is fucking
is Rhea Ripley at home. See, exactly. Look up Rhea Ripley, Kai, and then you'll understand.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many opinions about this game. Okay,
let's get into the housekeeping and then.
I want to know how you guys are doing too.
We already
you just said good. Nothing else. You want to just get right into it?
Yeah, I'm fine.
There's not much to say. I'm going away as a recording. I'm going away partway through the week to sunny Devon. Gonna go do some boogie boarding, and I don't think I'll ever surf, but
okay.
You should try surfing. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll try. No, it's a lie. I won't try.
Me and Kai surfed for one whole summer, and it was good.
We weren't good at it, but it was still enjoyable.
Yeah. I feel like it requires a lot of core strength that I don't have. If it was anything like skateboarding, surprisingly, the 4 weeks I spent skateboarding hurt my fucking abs and my core so much.
A lot of balancing. Devon looks beautiful, by the way.
Devon is.
I was gonna say I've not seen Devon.
It's basically a coastal area, and there's a place there called Croyd Beach, which is basically like a bay where all the surfers go. and it's just it's lovely, really slow paced. My father-in-law retired there because his wife is from there originally.
What's the travel for you to get here? Is this close or?
I mean, for us, it's considered long distance, but for you guys, you'd be like, "Biff." It's a 5-hour drive roughly from where I am.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent drive for sure. This looks like Catalina, Kai.
I've never been, but sure.
Oh, Catalina Island. I've never been either.
That's where Jordan is right now.
Jordans were there right now. That's why I said that, because I saw the post.
Okay, right. I was like, that's such a random fucking
Jared
call.
saying a place he's never been, nor that I've ever been. Being like, isn't it like this? I'm like,
I just said that because the wife is there currently, and I saw her post pictures, and I was like, this looks like the picture that she posted.
Yes, it is a coastal area.
Yes.
Good job. Yep.
Yeah, this is our like yearly reset. We go there once a year, and we do nothing, and walk his dogs down a country path and breathe in a bit of sea air, and it kind of resets you. It's a very nice experience.
Sounds lovely.
That does sound lovely.
And they have cream teas, which is very, very British.
Cream tea?
It's basically a massive table just full of scones, clotted cream, jam, and it's basically just like a shit ton of cakes and really sweet jams and stuff.
This looks like an indulgence table. Lots of carbs and lots of. There's some fruit. I'm seeing some strawberries.
Yeah. There's some bits and pieces, but you're not really there for the fruit. Let's be real.
Nah. You're here for those delicious little. I was gonna say biscuits, but you probably don't call them biscuits. We call them biscuits.
No, scones.
Scones. Yeah, this would be a biscuit in the U.S.
I don't know, because I swear y'all fry your biscuits. It's different because like a scone's baked. We don't like.
No, you fry. It looks like this. It looks like this. They're baked.
Because all the biscuits I've had are like really crunchy on the outside.
It depends on how you make them.
They're similar but different. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more of a scone guy myself, but yes,
scone
a biscuit has a place. Biscuit is more savory.
Yeah. These are very.
Yeah.
These are very like it's almost like a fluffy cake sort of take on the biscuit. But yeah, that's
on the wake up. Whoa, that's my wake up alarm, and you just kind of like as a sleeper agent like triggered me, and I'm just like, it's time for work. We gotta go. It's time to go.
What is happening?
Okay, well, I'll take that alarm as a sign to we'll get this going. The boys wanted to rush me. I wanted to sit and chat for a bit. I didn't get to chat because I was doing my camera.
I was just say we've spent the past 40 minutes chatting, so we're good to go.
We spent the last 40 minutes watching you panic.
That's fair.
I rushed to get ready for this podcast to come and sit here. And
I specifically told you no rush because we were just chilling. There was no rush. I mean, I got nothing to do today. I don't know about the two of you. Okay, let's get into this. Gosh, I was gonna change up like my intro stuff, and now I've like thrown off my whole group.
I already introduced.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to bring it up, but you said tuning in. You were like, you're tuning into the play. I was like, whoa, when did we start saying this?
Yeah, I was gonna mix it up and start doing that, and then put the episode number at the top. But now I'm here, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do here? I'll figure it out. We'll keep with this
309. What is this?
This is I just said at the top. This is 318.
Y'all well off. Okay.
Yeah. Episode 318. But yes, if you don't know, we are Play Along Podcast, the podcast that plays through games in a book club format. What we usually do here is the three of us here each take turns picking a game. We then break it up into sections and come together every other week to talk about each one of those sections specifically. We are at the top of a brand new season, so now is the perfect time to grab the game, join the conversation, and play along with us. I'm pretty sure Immortals of Aveum is on all platforms. It's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, and on PC. I don't think it's on Switch, although I think this would be a good Switch 2 game, but I don't know if it's on Nintendo platforms.
I don't know if this is a good game in general, so putting it on Switch 2
the digs in there early.
A bold move.
We'll get into it. Per the normal curse, Immortals of Aveum was discounted when we initially announced this, but we were recording ahead, so it is back to full price. I'm not going to spoil too much of my thoughts. I am enjoying my time. Do not pay $60 for this game, please.
Do not
pay this at full price.
Yeah.
If you really, really want to play this game, like loosen your morals and get it on a Game Pass trial, and then
I would just say get Game Pass because it has the EA Play through Game Pass and play it that way. But please do not pay $60 for this. Well, I mean, when you had bought it, Kai, it was like $6 when it was on that discount or something.
Yeah, it was like $6.99.
Yeah, so
nice.
it goes
That's
on sale occasionally. So yeah, under $10 I think is like, yes, I would definitely recommend playing this for under $10, but not for 60. Definitely not for 60.
Don't do that. No.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, so just keep track of that. Wish listed on Steam if you want to keep track of when the game goes on discount or anything like that as well. With that, I say let's get into Immortals of Aveum. And what we do usually at the top of the show is we all go around and kind of gauge our own experience and history with the game prior to playing it for the podcast. Kai, I'm going to pass it over to you. Did you know anything about Immortals of Aveum?
Let me answer
that's
this
what
question.
I thought.
No,
that's what I
and I was a better person for it.
yeah, exactly. I didn't know it existed, and I was much happier before learning that it did exist than I am now. I honestly thought that this game was just that other game that you played. That was also
Avowed, yeah.
Yes, which is also just vaguely an amalgamation of tropes shoved
RPG.exe.
into RPG. But this is somehow worse. So yeah,
I knew when we were playing these first chapters, I was like, "This guy is gonna fucking hate this." Like,
I had the exact same thought.
This game doesn't have enough substance for Kai to enjoy it.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Ben, did you? I remember when this game came out, and it's semi unfavorable to mixed scores. Do you remember the conversation around Immortals when this was coming out in 2023?
I want to be nice and say I do, but I don't. I feel like this is kind of one of those games that has slipped under the radar. It was on my play later on Xbox Game Pass. Because it was one of those where I was like, I'm not paying for it, and that looks like it mildly interesting, so I'll potentially maybe get around to it at some point.
Yeah.
And I feel like interestingly, we gave Matt Storm a lot of shit in the last episode for recommending this, and I've now learned that Matt has not yet played this game.
Then why would you recommend it?
They recommended it because on their backlog to play, and so
they wanted to kick up the ass to play it. Yeah. So
Matt was like, "Oh, we are the guinea pigs to play it. So we are the guinea pigs for this." So thanks, Matt.
This whole letting people recommend things to us is just falling apart immediately.
Well, it's fine because a little spoilers for in the future. Matt is going to be on for the finale, so we get to have a conversation with Matt about this full game in its entirety as well after we've experienced it, and you can lambast Matt if whether you liked it or not liked it.
Yeah, but no, it was one of those ones that I remember people talking about, and people were very, like you said, they were very mixed. Some people were like, it's really good. Some people were like, Some people were like, it's kind of middle line. And then, like, the conversation just kind of stopped.
Yeah,
and then the studio got, like, absorbed, and now they're doing whatever it is that Microsoft has them doing. And that was kind of like the end of it. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was just like a game that released in 2024 or whenever it was this came out.
2023.
And I didn't really think about it until we recommended it.
I didn't recommend it.
No. You chose. There was plenty of options on that list.
I did.
You chose this.
We could have played Tales from the Borderlands. We could have played Walking Dead.
That's very true. I think similar to Ben. I remember this coming. I do remember this coming out. I remember the conversation around it being very split. And then it was like Ben had just said, it was like everyone was talking about it. And then maybe like less than a month, it was like no one was talking about Immortals of Aveum. It had like came and gone very quickly. The reason why this kind of picked back up on my radar is I think a couple years ago, maybe in 2024, it came to PS Plus. It was one of the free games for PS Plus. And I booted up, and I had showed Ben, I put it in our Discord, that I played 35 minutes of it. That was my time. I've played 35 minutes of it prior to today, which I remember being like, man, this is it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad, but
look, we can't have another Chrono Trigger. Okay, we need to try and not like.
I know, and this was this time I was like, you know what, I was going in being like, this is going to be bad. I remember it being bad, the conversation. And I will just say now that I enjoyed a lot of what I've played already. We'll get into it, but I have enjoyed a ton of some of the stuff here.
Mhm.
Yes, there's things that are very bad and pretty cringy, sure. But I think it's like, it's a very, it's one of those like turn your brain off kind of games that I feel like is perfect for me right now in this moment.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I don't want to sort of get into it too much because obviously this is Final Thought stuff, but like it reminds me of like the game version of like a Jason Statham action movie. You know,
yes, this is a
where,
Fast
like,
and Furious movie for gamers.
That is so hurtful to Jason Statham and Fast and Furious movies. This is
I did the Fast and Furious. This is like the mechanic. This is
this is a direct to TV like teenage sci-fi movie. That's what this is.
What was that movie with Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds where they're like stealing art and stuff like that? And
Red Notice, that movie was good as hell. Don't fucking.
Oh, this reminds me of that. I mean, I was fine, but I was just like,
I like.
Oh
that
no, I
movie.
was thinking Transporter. This
Red
is what it
Notice.
reminds me of. Transporter.
Transporter is one of my favorite.
Transporter
films.
is great.
Stop, leave
Just
these films alone.
Transporter is like, it's good, but I'm like it doesn't really do anything, does it? Like it's
Transports, and there's a hot Asian woman. Those are my requirements
That's,
as a child.
yeah.
Okay.
There is not so far. There is not a ethnic. Well,
there's
a racially ambiguous
wildly,
woman and they killed her off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we'll get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna set the scene. So this is one of these fantasy games that just dumps a lot on you right away, right? It's like the big proper nouns, the big world. It's like it's setting itself up as like having already like a pre-existing lore, but it does not have any pre-existing lore. So you're very confused on all the stuff. So again, I'm going to do a little bit of set dressing for the world, and we're going to say a lot of words that probably don't make a lot of sense to you. We will learn about them and we will process them as we go through this entire series too. So first of all, welcome to the world of Aveum. Aveum it's interesting because it's
stolen already.
No, we're starting. No, it's a fantasy world, and it's very medieval, but it's set up in as we're starting, it's already set up into this Everwar that's happening. This war that has already kind of been set up. We are in the middle of this. This has been happening for thousands of years. And Lucium is one of the two kingdoms that's kind of the last pillars of this kind of crumbling world that's happening. Lucium and the antagonist for this game, Rasharn, are kind of these two superpowers that are fighting for control over who gets to use magic. And that war has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. And we play as Jack. Good old boy Jack, who has probably in his own mind main character energy. He does not have main character energy, but he thinks he has main character energy. And we start off in the city of Saren. Saren is a city built in the side of this massive, like, ancient bridge, and it kind of sets up this classism divide that's in Lucia, where the rich and the magic users, which in this world are called Magni, are on the top, and everyone else in the are called the unforeseen are at the bottom. And Kai, I don't know if you got this, but like the top is called Topside and the underground is called like the Underdark. This is arcane. This is just
no, I'm aware. Also, I'm very confused because it's like, oh, like the bottom people can't use magic, but literally everyone is using magic in the bottom.
A lot of people are using magic.
You're just walking around, people using magic. We could use magic. I'm like, what is the delineation here?
I think the lineation, this is something that confused me at first, but like I think when they say use magic, I think they mean use it for the good of the Everwar, because like the people on the bottom side can, like you said, like you go around like bursting these weird cyst polyp fins, like you can shoot stuff, but you can't like use it for war.
Yes, you've also failed to mention that under the bridge is a giant endless pit that has
the
really
void.
no
It's called the wound.
The wound. There you go.
Yeah.
The wound.
It's called the wound. Which I mean a lot of people referenced it, but I imagine we'll get more context on the wound. Well, hopefully, you get more context on the wound as it goes through. But yeah, it's like an endless pit that the bridge is kind of suspended.
Yeah, above. I'm assuming it's like there was some sort of rapture. Like what I'm imagining is that we'll find out at some point that either nobody or not many people could use magic, and then the wound opened, and now all of a sudden everybody could use magic.
And specifically, they talk about the wound in the game as not a hole, but they were a couple characters reference it as a cancer. As the more magic that is used in the kingdom, the wound grows and grows more and more. So it's kind of this system of these two superpowers fighting over magic and using magic to fight each other because they want power. But the more they do that, the more this wound spreads throughout the world too. So I'm imagining the wound would probably be a bigger part of the lore as we go through, but.
It's interesting because the thing they're fighting over is the ley lines.
Yes.
Because there are 3 classes of magic. There's blue, which I don't understand what that does. There's red, which is like aggression and sort of ferocity. And then there's green, which is like healing.
Yeah, so the terms that they associate with each color: blue is force, red is chaos, and green is life. Those are the 3
and that was
elements associated with the colors.
That was interesting though, because I mean we don't see them until like chapter 2 or 3 when we're learning to become a Magni. But like the ley lines are like a real like I don't know if they call them I don't know if it's a conspiracy or a belief or what, but like there is like actual belief. Like, so you want to get into like which my mum she follows paganism. She considers herself to be a white witch, so she talks. I know
crazy thing.
She would love this game. She would love the ley lines.
Well, because but the thing is, she talks about ley lines because it's like the idea.
Oh, this is a thing.
Yeah, no, this is like a real thing. At least I don't know if it's in America, but like at least in the UK, the ley lines are like this like concept that there are lines of magic across the earth in which if you are on them, you have like a deeper connection and you can kind of the pagan beliefs are stronger and like you can get better healing and stuff like that if you tap into these ley lines.
That is like highly fascinating. Like I would love to learn more about people that like are knowledgeable and believe that this is a legit thing that is happening.
I'll ask my mum. I'll ask my mum to give us a breakdown.
I'll give her your number.
You can reach out.
No, because she's I mean, like growing up, she's very like crystal focused, and she's a lot of like the Green Man, which is like a fable here in the UK, and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the real world ley lines are about and how that kind of ties it, because it runs off a similar thing. There's these blue, green, and red lines that kind of run across Aveum, and by having access to those, you can pull on more of the magic that are in the ley lines.
Interesting, fascinating. So Lucium in general, which is our starting area, the starting kingdom, is seen as like the noble kingdom, and it's home to the order of the Immortals, which the Immortals are kind of like the military of Lucium.
Well, they're like the
aforementioned Immortals from the title.
They're like the
commanders of the army.
Yeah, they're like the high level, like because you have the general army, you have an army of Magni's, but the Immortals are like the fucking
they're like
pinnacle.
The higher up,
and they're also confusingly not immortal.
Not immortal. They're just called Immortals. I think they can also die.
Yeah,
they're not
but
immortal.
It seems like the leader's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Like I said, our main protagonist is Jack. And like every trope where there's classism and the split, Jack runs with a ragtag team of kids. And
Jack's Aladdin.
Jack is Aladdin, stealing money, trying to do heists and stuff.
Not only stealing money, but stealing money in the most hilarious way.
The fish.
He's got a fish line, and he's like, there's like a. It's a theater performance to also give us more lore, which is great, cool.
Yeah, they're like portraying like some big battle, and Jack and what's her name, Luna? Yeah, Luna. Are like in the rafters, dropping down a fish hook.
There's a lot of
maybe like bump into people and steal their change that way. Like that's the kind of classic.
Like the Assassin's Creed kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, Jack's not cool enough. Jack's not cool enough to be an assassin.
You're literally the entire like section you're walking through. Everyone's like lifting shit up with magic for no apparent reason other than to prove that they can. There's just a bunch of people lifting like barrels and carts.
There's a bunch of people just like carts and barrels.
Don't you think maybe you should have just used magic?
You want to talk about people doing like shit for no reason? In the final chapter, as I was heading towards the barracks, there's just a group of 3 people who are floating in the air for no reason,
they're
having a
just like,
conversation.
They're
"Whoa."
like,
What?
we can do it. That's
Honestly,
what matters.
I would too. I would just float.
Yeah,
If I
I
could float
can't.
around, I would be floating around too.
I can't say that I wouldn't. Yeah.
Like we said, Jack is considered a I had it written down here. Oh, Jack is considered a triarch. So we learn through a series of unfortunate events where
Well,
Jack.
hold on. Let's go back a little bit because
Well,
first
I
of
didn't.
all, the dialogue between Luna and Jack sounds like the way that they edited it sounds like two people having completely separate conversations and always
Oh, yeah.
talking over one another. Like, it is the worst dialogue like application I've ever heard. Not the writing itself, which is atrocious, but the actual like usage of it. They don't sound like they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
They're just talking past each other the whole time. And she interrupts him every sentence, which is wild. And
Oh,
also
for sure.
she's one of the most insufferable people of all time. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna join the army, but I'm not gonna tell anyone. And also, why does everyone care about that? Like, it's just like she's deeply unlikable, but then we're supposed to like her. And then for no reason, the game just kills everyone. And you're like,
Yes.
this is unnecessary. You could have the child could have survived. The little girl, that would have been fine. Like, there would have
Yeah,
been a
that's
beautiful moment where Jack is like, I have to go and try to find out what happened to Luna. But instead they just fucking RPG to shit, and then we turn into we take the star from Mario Bros, and all of a sudden we're fucking Rainbow Guy.
Well, 'cause
yeah.
that's
I
the-
would think that he would be more upset with the children dying, not necessarily because he was sad, but he was like, oh man, that sucks. But it was with Luna dies
Like,
or whatever that he's like
bummer.
he goes full.
Yeah.
He goes full. His
Well,
avatar state activates.
He gives me Hayden Christensen Anakin turning. He's very
I
corny
don't-
white guy.
I don't know if this is obviously very millennial coded. It probably is, but just like I feel like those movies and Hayden Christensen has like aged so well. Like I look back very fondly on like those movies and him as an actor and everything too. I'm like, oh, those are great.
Wild take. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's an
what's
opinion that you are allowed to have.
Yeah.
Yes. What's confusing is like we don't always have access to the 3 schools of magic until that like pinnacle event, right? Because like beforehand, he's just using the blue. He's just shooting blue around.
I mean, Kai's name in this, as you can see, is Immortals of the Avatar. Similar to that, like the Avatar starts off with one element and then gets access to all of them.
The
Like Korra
confusing
started
thing,
with
though,
water.
is that it seems that everyone uses blue magic. Blue seems like the basic bitch magic because everyone in wherever we are, Saren, they're all just floating shit with blue magic.
Yes.
Both of us shoot with blue magic. You don't see any green magic or red magic for that matter. The only time you see green magic is when you go into the guy's house to try to get the heat. Okay, well, hold on.
Well, and there's
even more
enemies.
context. Ragtag team of people. Before everyone dies, there's a child. So it's her birthday, essentially, because she's turning, I believe, 16 is the age that you then go serve in the
She's
guard.
16. She looks like she's about 34.
I thought
know.
she was older too.
No, it's her 16th birthday, and she's going. They're all children, by the way, even though almost none of them, except the little girl and the weird Asian boy, look like children. And then, so there's another person who we very shortly learn of and never really see again, who's this like blonde kid who is going and stealing something, and he's like, I got this.
When he
for
got
you.
like he got wounded.
He got wounded, but it's a snow globe. That's what he stole.
Like, they're poor, man. They're looking for a special.
They want
artifact.
food. They want snow globes. They have
these characters are so insignificant. The wiki doesn't even reference them. I'm trying to find their names, and none of them are referenced in the wiki.
Not only
So, like-
that, they live in a house. They have an entire garden on the roof. Like, they're not that desperate. They're not homeless.
Which,
like,
I mean, we'll get to the house because that's really confusing because we find out, like, in the path, when we do the path, we found out she bought the house.
She saved up and bought the house. Yeah.
So, anyway, so, like, weird street urchin number 3 comes back and has been stabbed. And
yes.
basically, Luna is like, okay, we need to go. And I think this is what Kai was going to talk about. This is when you do the like heist. You break into the dude's mansion because she's like, oh, I've got this mark, and he's going to have green energy in his mansion. So we break into the mansion and try to steal like a vial, I think it is, right?
What's like
It's just a
they
weird-
have these like arm contraptions that essentially enhance the abilities of the magic user. It's what the Immortals use. It's a kind of like a military weapon that they use,
the
and that's what's
child
floating through there.
that is shot is Caleb.
Oh yes, they do mention Caleb. There's no picture for Caleb on the wiki, but they do mention Caleb.
Okay, so we try and steal it, and we get caught, and then we are like, shit, we need to run. And we start running, and this is when
Did you guys fight those soldiers
Ragnarush, or
at all,
whatever his name is.
or did you just book it?
Oh no, I fought the soldiers.
Yeah, I fought the soldiers as well. I didn't run. I fought all of them. Rasharn is
that's it.
Rasharn is not the person. Rasharn is the kingdom. So these people are the main bad guy. It's like a Sardok or something, but the realm is called Rasharn. So when they reference Rasharn, it's the kingdom of Rasharn. Lucium and Rasharn are fighting for magic.
That makes a little bit more sense, because I'm not going to lie to you, listeners. Like it is not 100% clear. There's a lot of pronouns, like Jared said. It's not 100% clear what's what. But basically, Rasharn are attacking Saren.
Sandrak is the main bad guy, and yes, Rasharn is attacking Saren.
Okay, and then I thought this bit was kind of cool because, like, you have these like giant floating ships that basically shoot down like magic cannon blasts, and you're basically trying to make your way back to the house as everything is kind of blowing up around you and people are going a little bit crazy. Like, at least that was cool. Like, there was a kind of sense of catastrophe, and there was a sense of like, oh shit, like fucking all the city's being attacked. And
I just watched the scene when the children get blown up again by the giant magic blast, and it's pretty funny.
And I want to state that this game's very, like, again, the writing is bad. It's silly and goofy, but there's like a level of camp that I'm just like here for it. And it's kind of like working. It's kind of working for me. Like I'm aware that I'm not going in expecting this to like be fucking Shakespeare. So I think a little bit of the goofiness is like, it kind of works. Watching, because I just passed the scene as well, watching a muted YouTube video of children blow up
is a very surreal experience. Yes,
it's very surreal.
But we make it back to the house. And as Jared and Kai said, the house that the children are staying in, they were cooking some sort of casserole or something.
It's stew.
And before all this, Luna was saying, like, I'm going to tell them when we get back. Like, I'm going to tell them that I'm leaving for the army. And this is important context I feel like we have to add, because Jack is very anti-army. He is like, why the fuck are you going to go and give your life up for these people? They don't care about us. Like, why are we even bothering to fight this fight? And she's very like, well, this fight affects everybody. It's basically she's like, it's the greater good. That's kind of what she.
Yeah.
No, go on, you look like you was going to say something.
This is a small point that was frustrating for me. When you go to make the stew, the Fife, the Asian boy, says, "Go grab some tubers." That's a classification of a plant. That's not a type of plant. So it's not specific. Do you want a sweet potato? Do you want a potato? Do you want a carrot? Do you want an onion? Do you want allium? What of the tuber family are you looking for? Very non-specific. I feel like they just chose a word that they were like, this sounds magical. And it's like, but that's not a food.
Kai, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I feel like that's a you problem, because I was just it's
a
tuber.
Yeah, it's a tuber. I didn't even...
That's not how it works!
I didn't even know tuber was a real thing. I thought it was something made up for this game. I thought they made it for this game. I didn't question it.
All right, you know what? I'm outvoted. It's a me thing. Probably no one cares. It pissed me off as someone who knows what a tuber is and was like,
hey, I thought this was like I thought it was like a radish or something when I had grabbed it. And I was like, oh, it's like their name for their food they have here.
If you two were pissed off by the use of tuber, then please let us know in the Discord.
Yeah, let me know. We were like, that's not specific enough.
But the children get blown up. Basically, there's like a soldier from the Rasharian army. He directs the blast. The blast blows up the house. Then Luna tries to take on this soldier. And immediately dies. I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we didn't see her die. So I mean, she just got blown off into the wound. So
she did go into the wound. So I'm assuming she's gonna either be dead or come back as some sort of.
She's gonna come back as evil. She's gonna come back as evil.
She's gonna be that sorceress that we saw in the later chapters.
Yeah, who knows?
But this was interesting because this is I had not heard of the term frigin. We were talking to Matt about this in the chat that we set up. But this is another trope that the game leads into, which is essentially the idea of a woman being like killed or maimed, and that being the sole driving reason for a male protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what happens effectively. Jack kind of has like a
his avatar
mutant fucking like he watches her die, and then something unleashes in him, and we go kind of crazy berserker. He has a temper
tantrum. Let's be honest. That's what happens.
Yes,
which is what the triarch I was referencing before, which is he has access to all 3 colors of magic,
and it seems like what he does in that moment is kind of the ultimate ability that we get later on, where he kind of casts that beam that uses all 3 of them. But then he passes out having defeated everybody. He wakes up in the ruins of the house and the city and Seren, and basically immediately gets scouted by the head general of the Lucian army.
Hell yeah.
Which I don't want to like. I don't know if this is an army thing. Do the army call their female superiors sir still?
No,
I think so.
No.
I don't know.
Because like I might just be making an assumption. Kirkin looks like a woman, and he calls her
General
sir.
Kirkin.
She's definitely a woman. It's just like a weird look. This is the problem with all of these games made for EA at this time, which is like just the most annoying fucking reductive woke ass bullshit. And look, you know my politics. I'm fucking woke as woke and all that shit. But like the amount of diversity in this game is fucking ridiculous. No society would look like this.
Damn,
there's only been like 4 main characters, and I'm pretty sure all the soldiers are just white too. So I don't know. I don't see a lot of diversity.
All of the children. There's an Asian child, a white child, a black child.
Yeah, but they're dead now, so it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant.
But once again, just all the characters that are speaking. That's the hilarious thing. Background characters, they're all white. Because it's like, we're not going to put effort into that. But all of the other characters are just like, there's the Indian lady who's like the weird, like, she's like the president, but not the president, who's like serving with the king. There's like it's just like, the way that societies work, like there is cultural, either 2 things are true, right? If they've been finding this way for 1,000 years and everyone's in this way, there would have been so much intermixing that it kind of would have just all washed out to some like vaguely tan curly haired existence, or you would have some sort of homogeny where there's like a general population of a single, but it's just like, we're Electronic Arts and we want to be inclusive, so here's a girl with the most fuck ass haircut of all time that like doesn't make any sense in context, and it's just like, call me sir, and it's like, okay, cool, great that we had to do this.
Yeah, I looked it up, and apparently if you call a female officer sir in the army, it's considered improper conduct, and you can actually get like penalized for it. Yeah. So
I did not know that.
And interestingly, this is an EA original, right? So this is like that time when EA were like funding indie developers.
Yes.
Yeah, because Ascendant Studios is the company that developed this game. Ascendant Studios, I think, had recently also laid off a ton of people. I don't know if they're doing anything.
I don't think they exist anymore. Their studio closed down.
No, I think they get accumulated. Like,
that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What's it?
I think they make VR games. This might be a different Ascendant Studios.
Mm-hmm. But either way, basically, Kirkin is. We find out she is like the head Magni. She is the lead immortal. She is like the general of the Lucinium? I don't know what they're going to call it.
I guess you could be Lucinium.
Lucinium doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I was like, their last Instagram post was about Immortals on May 24th, 2023.
Well, they made this, and then they worked on Armored Core 6 and Starfield, and then 6 months later, because they already had half of the staff laid off, and the remaining staff was furloughed in April of 2024. So the studio's dead. No one works.
That's kind of what I thought.
But basically, Kirkin like recruits you straight into the army, and is basically like, you are this rare breed of soldier, and we can't not have you. And Jack goes from being very like, I want nothing to do with the army. This is not my battle to just like, okay, yeah, I'll
So
join.
It's insane. The
This is-
entire beginning of the game, he's like, I don't want to be part of the army. And then the one person is like, you're special. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was
think
to do with
this
Luna, to be fair. But...
I think this kind of worked for me because I think I was under the impression that like they've seen just the split between the top side and them. That's kind of where they've seen this kind of discrepancy, but they haven't seen the full power of like Saren has never been attacked by Rasharn yet. And so seeing this happen firsthand, seeing his home being attacked by all these people, I think it's good motivation being like, okay, I guess I have to do something about this because my home has been attacked and now my family has been killed and now I can do something about it too.
Sure. After this, we get the most overwrought and unnecessary intro animations of all time, which is
It reminded me of like a CW TV show.
This whole thing is a CW TV show.
That's not. I don't necessarily mean that derogatorily, but I don't know if derogatorily is a word. But it just like it was like, oh, they go through the credits and they show like people like credit names and everything like that. In the beginning.
There's a title slide with the like silhouettes of all the main
yes, again, it reminded me of a TV show,
like, Immortals of Aveum. It's like
so. This next section is essentially our tutorial. Yes. As we go through and we do training with General Kirkin. I want to get your guys' opinions because at this point we have access to all three magic. We get a ton. This game is pretty deep in its skill tree and the amount of abilities that you get. But I want to get your guys' opinions on this being a quote unquote first person shooter and how you feel about the first person magic and how the gameplay works with using the magic as your main source of like first person combat.
So I'm glad you asked this, Jared. On the surface, I don't have any problems with it because it is just a fucking first-person shooter in a sense, right? You are pointing and clicking and people die, and you have the ability to use a shield, and you can kind of change magic.
Yes.
What gets confusing to me is like when you get into the weeds of it, because the game keeps telling me to change my color of magic to match the color of magic that I'm fighting. But I haven't found an issue with that. Like I don't use blue. I'll be honest with you guys. Okay, so
green is OP. Let's just
green is OP.
Oh, interesting. No, I use red. I don't use green at all.
The red fucking like the red.
Red is like shotgun.
Yeah, that's cool. The green. Not the heat-seeking one, because the heat-seeking one is shit. But there's one that's like a circle Gatling gun that has like 110 bullets.
It's like an SMG.
Dude, you just fucking spray and play, and the spray and play and the pray. Oh my god, third time, and all of the enemies just fucking melt like it. So like that dragon fight that we're going to talk about in a moment. Like I wasn't using green, and then when I went to green, piece of piss.
Interesting. So in regards to the using specific magic with specific characters, there are, if you look at some of the like the siren-y floating ones, they are blue. And if you use blue magic on them, it does more damage and it bypasses their shield. If you use green or if you use red, it just takes longer to hit these enemies. They have like a shield that can be broken, but takes longer if you don't use the color coordinated magic.
And I think that's kind of, I don't know if I'm going to regret saying this, but like what I would prefer almost is like, oh, that's a red enemy, I need to destroy them, because they kind of use that with like, you know, you have the foot soldiers, right, and they have the blue shield. You have to use the hold RB, press the blue area of attack, you know, what launches the spikes
the
up. You can only break the shield with blue magic because it's a blue shield. And I almost kind of enjoy that side of it, but part of me is wondering, like, would I want the whole game to be continuously having to, because there's no, like, the thing that pisses me off, this is such a minor thing, but it goes blue, red, green, and you press Y to swap. There's no way to quickly swap between the fucking, like, why can I not hold Y and that gives me like a GTA wheel where I can just be like, hold it, I want, because otherwise if I'm on red and I want to get to blue, I have to press Y twice. And sometimes in the heat of battle, I kind of press Y 3 times without meaning to, end up back on red. And then I'm like, fuck, no, I wanted blue. I got to press it again. Like, I feel like there could be a better mechanic for quickly selecting what school of magic you wanted to kind of go to.
I wonder if there is this if you play on PC. If there's like a scroll wheel
Yeah, I think
mechanically
it's
you can
probably
do.
just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, like a
You
quick
can
select
just
if you're
quick
playing on
select what
PC if
what
you're
you're
not playing
doing.
on. Kai, how about you? How are you feeling about the kind of combat mechanics?
I would rather have it be guns, but it's fine.
Yeah, I honestly think it's interesting, and one thing that I like, and I guess we
I
can
just
get
don't.
into it
I
here.
want to be able to aim in. That's really my main criticism,
I see.
and I can't aim in. Doing
The
everything
only,
from a wrist shot like this is not my
the only
bag.
one
Yeah,
that
it's like hip
aims,
fire. It's hip fire at the game.
the only one that aims in is like the blue magic. I've got this like blue javelin that takes forever to fucking charge, but you
Yeah.
basically like create. It's almost like a Zeus lightning bolt in his hand, and it kind of zooms in, and you can really get it.
I mean,
But
that's what I was actually kind of impressed by. The amount of like equipment and
Yes,
abilities that we get
there
in
is
is crazy. There's so much.
so
And
many.
I'm so glad they did this because games don't do this. When you have a visual representation and change of your equipment, like when you equip something different, it doesn't just like, oh, you get a bigger buff, but you're like the visual identity stays the same. In this game, if you have different green, red, or blue like wrist equipment, it changes visually. They all look different. The charms that you get are all visually different, and I think that I love when they do stuff like that in games.
Yes.
how
Other
did
than
we?
that, it's fine. I like the shield. I think
Yeah,
that's a
I
good
think the
touch. I like the being
the
able to like
gameplay is
whip
fun.
people towards you.
Yes,
That's
the whip is a
nice.
lot of fun.
It's a lot of just like what Ben said. It's a lot of just shooting a lot of things. It's very
Well,
like almost Borderlands in that way, in which it's just like kind of a bullet hell.
Bullet hell, yeah. Well,
throws
there's also
game.
like especially in the beginning, there's a lot to manage too. Like you're juggling a lot. It took me a long time, like Ben said, to kind of find the flow of like switching, and you get abilities that are different combinations of buttons that you have to press. Because I'm playing on PS5, so I'm also playing on controller.
Yeah.
Are you playing on controller? Or are you playing mouse keyboard, Kai?
No, I'm playing on controller.
Yeah, Ben, you're playing this on Steam, or are you playing this on?
No, I'm playing this on
console?
Game Pass. I wasn't playing
Oh,
this.
Game Pass. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you were playing this with if
No.
either you're playing mouse and keyboard at all. But yeah, this chapter 2 is essentially going through the tutorial, and we kind of have our first quote unquote boss fight at the end of this, where we fight big dude. The one thing that I wish, which may be
We're talking about the dragon, right?
No, the dragon's later.
This
This is
is
like
spectral
the
warrior
yeah.
guy.
Oh,
To the
big
end of this
bulky guy.
level.
not
Yeah.
not the howler, the thing before that. Gotcha.
Yes. I wish the dash was more dashy. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I feel like the dash is very short,
Yeah.
and I always want to like
It's almost
dash
a
farther or
sidestep.
dash through. But yeah,
It's like
So
a
I'm
sidestep as opposed to a dash.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is a ability that's used later, because on top of all of this, we also have a skill tree in which we can
Mhm.
have buffed abilities through each. There's the 3 tiers: it's the red, blue, and green magic, and we have new abilities and buffs through all of those. It's interesting you guys did green, because I leaned full red most of this. Like my red skill tree is pretty high up, and then I started to branch out a little bit, but I am using red mostly.
I use red kind of like for almost like 1v1 stuff. Like I'll get close to people and then just blast them with red and they die.
Well, like Kai was saying, the whip. I whip, pull, and then red to shoot them.
That is a very, very good combo. But what is also a very good combo is using the weird green fins that slow people down and then just fucking bullet. Like, just LMG everybody.
Some enemies you have, like the big guys with like the hammers, you have to slow them down because they're so fast and they do so much damage that like when I see them, I immediately switch to like the goopy orb and I slow them down.
I mean,
will say,
generally the magic is red is shotgun, blue is
like an SMG Gatling gun kind of thing.
No, blue is like
blue's
long rifle or whatever.
Sorry, I was thinking about green.
Yeah.
Blue's like a
green is like an
rifle.
SMG. Like that's it does less damage but higher like hit per second essentially.
I will say, I know we're getting into stuff a little bit further later. Like I did not realize until the very, very end that you could use those green fins to slow objects down. So
yes,
you
have to do it. Some of the platforming that's like spinning around, you have to slow them down.
Somehow I just kind of like fucking like brute forced that at first, but then I got to some of the ones where they were spinning and it was like the platform you had to jump on, and I just kept getting thrown. And I was like, why is this platform green and everything else is red? And I was like, oh, hold on, wait, now I have like a green fin that slows everything down.
The one thing that I wanted to ask you guys as well is this is essentially like a training montage, because at the end of chapter 2, we get a 5-year time skip into Jack being essentially in the army and fighting the army and everything.
Yeah.
Is this too quick? Do we not get enough time to like live as
Yes.
Jack as a rookie
Yeah.
before he's
One
just
of
like
my-
an elite soldier?
One of my criticisms of this is they give you all of the different types of magic too quickly. Like, just because he has the ability to use them all, it's like they
he just has
should have
mastery still.
just focus on blue first, because like he has no experience. And then you just go through like
Yeah.
literally a 15-minute period where you pick up all 3 of your first wrist rockets.
Sigils.
It would have been cool. Like, I mean, I'm probably gonna reference Avatar a lot in this because of the simulators there. Like, Korra struggles with airbending. Like, that's one that she just
So you have
has
to
a
like
hard
go to
time
someone
using.
who's an expert at like green magic, and then like you go through another tutorial with them on like focusing just on green. Because the problem with this is that it's like you just get them all really quickly, and then it's like, oh, you switch between them, and there's things, and it's like you don't learn to focus on any one of them or how to use that specifically. And it's like,
Yeah.
that would have been a better approach to me than just like rushing through 15 minutes of tutorialization. And then also it doesn't make sense because like you're upgrading your skill tree, and then you skip 5 years in the future, but you have the exact same skill tree that you had. Like, he's made no progress.
He's made no progress in the 5 years. Kai, you know what game did this better?
Hi, Ninja.
No, Jack 2, where he has like the different colored ecos that you have to get, and you like unlock the abilities as you get the different eco colors.
Correct.
The way you were teeing that up, I genuinely thought you was going to be like Avowed.
Avowed. You don't do this better.
Then did you feel similarly where you feel like we didn't have enough time with Jack as like a
I think because
soldier?
at the end of it, I thought it was teeing up to that, because at the end, Jack kind of says to Kirk, and like basically what gives, like, why is the general of the army, like the head immortal, training me personally? And she just blows it off. She's like, hey, there's not many of us left. Like, you know, I've got time to do 1-to-1.
Yeah. It's essentially like they're desperate. They don't have a lot of people that can fight in this war on the side of Lucium anymore. And so she's like, we need people. You're a little more skilled than normal. So I'm going to personally train you. I
think kind of like Kai said, like I was expecting like 5 years later, like he's not yet an immortal. He spent 5 years training as a mage.
Yeah, he's still not an immortal. This whole first episode that we're doing is essentially Jack's journey to become an immortal.
Yeah, but like it's again, I know we're talking about tropes and stuff, but it's kind of that trope of like, oh, like he just knows how to do it. Like he just knows how to use all of the magic, even though he's never fucking wielded any of them until he had that like.
Again, we have characters that reference that almost like Jack is privileged because he thinks he's like, oh, you can use all magic, so you didn't have to work hard to get here. You were just already here.
I watched a child die in a fire, sir.
I watched my children friends explode.
And I think the thing I'm struggling with, and it might be something that gets played on later and we might find out why. Personally, I don't understand why Jack's special. Other than he has the ability to use all 3. Like, there seem to be just as many other Magni out there who are like just as skilled as... Because really, like, the ability to wield magic doesn't mean shit if you're not a good tactician. Like, if you're not good at war, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Like, well, if you think of it as like if you think of this as like bodies, right? There's or like specific specialties. Even if there is in their realm, right, it doesn't translate that well yet to gameplay for us. But in their realm, if there is like red, green, blue enemies that take a specific type of soldier, they'll need to find specific types of soldiers. So if they have this kind of like this like Swiss Army knife person that can do all this jack of all trades.
Oh god. But I think the thing that's bothering me the most when it comes to the magic and stuff is that like green is supposed to be like about life and death and restoring and healing, and but
it's also just
it's just a gun,
by the way.
Yeah.
Like
no, it's also the thing that you like manipulate all of the like
you move like structures and everything.
You do the bridge.
Yeah.
It's just earthbending. They were like, well, it's green, so
yeah. I guess what I would like to see is like maybe we were going around in like a platoon and our green magic, we had like a green sigil that allowed us to like revive a downed NPC or something like that kind of, because all we're kind of utilizing the green magic that's supposed to be about life and death for is turning it into a Gatling gun so we can mow people down. There's been no life and death mechanics so far, and that might change now he's an immortal, I don't know, but like at least in the first section there hasn't really been any kind of like, we essentially have 3 different types of guns.
I wonder if we get more too. I wonder if there's like a secret fourth magic that we find out that Jack also has secret
It'd be
powers
really
too.
shit because, like, was he called like the try something?
He's
It'd
a
be really
triarch.
shit if he had 4.
That's true. He's a quad arc. He's a triarch is this thing. So this
I think
sorry,
I
no,
wanted to talk something.
Yeah, you wanted to. Yeah.
I was gonna talk about Devin and when you go into the thing and they have
Oh
the
my
giant-
god, talk about insufferable. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but also, what is literally the purpose of having a giant floating list of everyone who's ever died? I just really
They also don't know. They're just like, I don't know why this is here.
It's just an insane thing to have. It's like he just walks in and like, first of all, we have no idea what it is. Devin just comes in and he's like, yeah, it's a big floating list of everyone who's ever died. And he's like, oh, I didn't know there was this many immortals. And he's like, oh, it's not immortals. It's like everyone ever who's ever died in the
Everwar. Yeah.
Why? Why is this here?
And
No,
also,
say,
at no point has at no point has anyone looked at that number of people on that list and gone, do you know what?
maybe we shouldn't fight anymore.
Maybe we shouldn't be doing
Don't
this.
fight for magic and we just share magic equally.
But
No?
I'm assuming the Rashani,
the Rasharians would not have that. Sondrak. But the next chapter is kind of where it picks up for me because story is fine. The gameplay moments we have are really just in the Magnus where we are training. We're doing the essential training montage. But this is where we are now in the front lines of lithium. I don't know how they're pronounced. There's a Y at the beginning of it. I don't know how it's pronounced. But this is where we get the kind of bulk of the main combat that we're dealing with, where we can see it's not just 1 or 2 soldiers. That's a ton of soldiers. There's different types of soldiers. We have a massive boss fight with a dragon at the end of this too. As much as the kind of like story doesn't hit, when the gameplay gets into this kind of like flow state where there's a bunch of characters and you're switching between powers, like this works for me so well. Like I love this kind of like moment to moment gameplay.
It's Doom.
It is Doom, yeah, for sure.
It's not as bullet helly, but it is kind of Doom. Yeah,
it's just that's why it's good. Is because it's like it's very satisfying. It's very quick. It's repetitive. You can kind of just like mow people down. It's not very difficult, I will say, because I suck at this shit.
I'm playing on a harder difficulty, which is showing for sure. It is hard.
I was not gonna do that.
Can you imagine a fucking like red magic glory kill? Like you just run up to someone and just
like put your palm in their face or something.
Yeah,
yes. This game is that part is fine despite how bad all the other aspects of it are. If they just would have if they would have made it like Halo or Doom where it's like there's not really a story, it's kind of you're just like go kill a bunch of stuff, it would have been a lot better. But they tried doing way too much fucking like world
that's why I'm just like I'm trying to pay attention. As you saw, I actually took notes, which is why I know most of the story stuff like going into this, because I knew there was going to be a lot of like setting in this episode. But I'm really here to shoot shit. That's why I'm having fun with.
Do you know what it gives the impression of? And I don't mean this in a derogatory way. It gives the impression that like this was supposed to kickstart a franchise, right?
It seems like it's like, oh, we're a big franchise already. Like they're setting up this like a pre-existing franchise.
Yeah, like they're trying to do the New Hope thing, but I feel like they're like overloading like too much lore too quickly. Like it feels like this should be like a 40-hour RPG rather than a 14-hour RPG.
Yes.
Yeah, this game's like 13. It's like between 10 and 13 hours is the runtime, which is crazy.
That's a lot of like content and lore to consume in a very short amount of time. But I will say, like you said, when the gameplay kicks in and you're weirdly enough, when you're like not looking at the lore, the game's actually quite fun.
I think Kai, I don't know why I never thought about this, but you're right. That's why gameplay is so fun, is because it is the moment to moment of just like Doom. It's like the Doom shooter where you're running around, you're blasting things, and it's also, other than.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, other than like the story, this game looks like environment wise looks great.
It also has the verticality of Doom, like Doom. What is the remake they did? Doom Eternal, right?
Yeah.
Where it has that like down and up but straight path where you're like you're not getting lost, but like it feels more interesting because of how vertical it is and how like much you're moving in the space, which like it once again it's satisfying gameplay. Like it is good. It's just you have to sit through like 20 minutes of dialogue in between those sections. You're just like,
I would much prefer this. I think me, Matt, and Ben were talking about this, but I wouldn't want this to be open world. Like I would much. I think
No.
this works better as a linear experience, and like you said, they kind of play with that with there being verticality, and even when you're going down linear paths, we'll get to like Jack goes on a path to get to the Immortals and everything. There's secrets you can find. There's puzzles on the offshoots of like the linear path, and I think that's fun when it's like sure there's a linear path, but there's still things to explore. But it's not a crazy open world where you're going through and having to traverse a giant area at all.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the dragon fight because I think
Should we talk about the stuff with the hand first?
Oh, I forgot that. I thought that happens later too. Yeah, we'll talk about that
because the dragon's on the way back. So Jack, basically gets told to go and fortify the front lines, and we go and do a little bit of battling with the Rashanian army, and then we end up detoured. I feel like he either gets knocked down,
he gets picked up by the dragon, and
that's it. He gets picked up by the dragon, and
we somehow shield before hitting the ground and don't die.
Yeah. Which I mean,
we're immortal.
You want to talk about tropes? Like that's kind of like that's like I feel like that's such a trope. Like you fall when you're like, cool, brace for impact.
But also, clearly they're not fucking immortal. If there's a whole list,
no, I know they're definitely not.
But basically, Jack gets told to make his way back to the tower, make his way back to the front lines. And on the way back, we come across, and again, I know we're going to keep talking about this, but like we come across the Hand, who's someone that we're supposed to know who that is.
It looks like it's like a Rasharian like elite commander is what I'm under the impression of.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like the game kind of is like, oh, that's the Hand, the Hand of Sadar, or whatever his name is, and you're like, fucking who? And we basically follow them into this like temple, is like underground area, and we watch the Hand basically like raise an artifact out of the ground.
They steal an artifact or something. We don't know the context of this yet. We don't get any more clarification on this through this chapter. And this was the person I was referring to of like, oh, what if the girl in the beginning is actually her? She's the Hand.
Luna could be that. Luna will be the Hand, 100%. Luna's going to be
watch
the Hand.
Luna be the Hand.
Yeah, no, that's I didn't even put that together, but yeah, 100%.
And she's like, the Immortals couldn't even save me. They couldn't even help me, so I turned on them.
Yeah. Yeah, or it'll be like, the Lucian army isn't telling you the full truth. Like, she's going to be brainwashed, and then she's going to fucking come back to our side at the end, and she's going to help us defeat the Rasharian.
That is going to be the trope where we see kind of like the holes in General Kirkin. Like, she's like done bad stuff to hurt people for the greater good or whatever.
Fucking war, bro. Like,
the fact that we know that it's Luna.
Okay, we don't know. But let's be fair. We don't know for sure.
We know with almost certainty that it's
99% sure that it is Luna, and it's just like, come on.
I don't think I've ever 99% sure about anything.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, I will hold my tongue until proven right, and then
I'm the one that brought up the theory. I brought up the theory that she could be Luna, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I was just like that feels like it fits the trope that this game's
evil,
already
an evil lady with a fucking ponytail comes out of nowhere being the Hand of Rasharn.
Yeah.
But she like gets they, because we don't actually know this. Let's pretend we don't actually know it's Luna. They, the Hand, get this artifact from this statue.
Not Luna.
Yeah. And basically Jack's like, oh, now's my chance. Like, I can't let her get away. So we start trying to shoot, and she just like floats off through the fucking gap in the ceiling and just disappears. And then Jack is basically, I was going to say radios in. He has that like floating orb that he can.
It reminds me. Do you remember the little thing from Wind Waker? It was like a little floating orb we would talk to the boat in Tetra with. That's what it reminds me of.
Yes. Yeah.
Wild specific pull.
I mean,
it's just that he's talking to a floating rock.
Yes. Yeah.
It looks like one of the.
But it has like Skype or something. It's like
there's you can FaceTime on the rock.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but he loses connection at some point too. So you must not have the full coverage.
Like it's a green rock, so you have to be in one of the green ley lines.
Yeah, there you go.
That's out of network. Then you have to have a red rock. It's very.
I do like, because getting out of this sets up this thing where yes, we have all these abilities for combat. But Ben said we can use some of this stuff for traversal, because there's throughout the game we've like shot these glowing crystals that are specific to colors, and they'll open up puzzles, they'll give us equipment and things like that. And to leave here, there's this big green rock where if you shoot it, it lifts up and then slams down, and you have to use your green orbs to slow it down to go through. This feels very like again, Jack and Daxter early 2000s
Mm-hmm.
platformer where like you're like using these abilities to then traverse and do kind of the platforming of the level. And I like that. I thought that was cool. They're called limpets. Limpets are the little green orbs that you you used to shoot.
Yes. Very, very strange.
Yeah. But after this, we get back to General Kirkin, and now Kirkin is like, you've proved yourself. You can now become an immortal, but you have to journey there yourself, which is the whole chapter 4 is the path to becoming a road to the Pantheon. The Pantheon is what we had referenced before, which is this big tower that all the immortals live in, where the big names of all the dead from the Everwar, where that is as well. And this was what I was referring to, where this path is very linear. There's a stone path that's like very A to B to get to the end of this, but there's lots of offshoots where you can find secrets. I did like a timing puzzle that involved like shooting red magic at a button that lifted a platform, but you had to run around this wooden platform to get back into it in time to get. I think at the end of it gave me like a skill point, because you can find skill points in the world too. Ascensions, yeah, ascensions.
Are you talking about the path in the Pantheon or the one?
The road to the Pantheon he's talking
Okay,
about.
road the thing in is called the path, so it's very confused.
Yes, the thing that we do, the trial to become an immortal is called the path. It's called the Palathon. Palathon is where the immortals live. This is also where we find out that we can hit this another system. We can use resources to buy and craft different items as well, weapons, armors, things like that too. I like this. Again, I this was where I was starting to get into the flow of really enjoying the kind of being able to explore without it being like an open world game.
Yeah,
you know?
My criticism of this mainly is they do a really good job in the opening sections of like fighting a bunch of people. The environment's really interesting. Like you do all this stuff, they introduce all this stuff, and then you go in the Palathon, and it's the most like basic. It's just like brimstone. Like it's like shouldn't this have been the tutorial level? Like the path of the Palathon feels like what a tutorial level would be. It's the exact same aesthetic as Control, like those sections in Control where you're doing the like.
Oh, you're talking about our actual trial to become the immortal.
like you do all this interesting stuff, and then you go to the trial to be the immortal, and then they remove all the interesting stuff, and you're just in what feels like a tutorial. It's like, shouldn't we just have skipped to this part, and then you could have introduced us to like the big fun world where like everything is happening and there's a bunch of puzzles and stuff, rather than being in like cloudscape hell where we
didn't talk about the dragon. The dragon fight was fun.
It was fun.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great time. It was a cool spectacle.
It did give me a bit of trouble because I become overly reliant on my shield. So that was kind of when I learned, like, you know, hey, if my shield breaks, that's kind of like a stamina break in a Dark Souls game, and it's a bad time.
When in doubt, use green. That's my advice. Just fucking unload consistently.
I couldn't blue was like poking it from a distance. Yeah. Red, I couldn't get close enough. Green, I could stand on the other side of the arena and just fucking gallop.
That's the best part. Yeah, just distance in green for a long time, and you'll be fine. That you'll get through.
Yeah. But no, Kai, you're right. As we finally make it to the Palathon, we meet the very annoying guy that you talked about before, Devin.
Oh, Devin. Right.
No, Devin.
Or if he's the blind child.
The seer, yeah.
Yeah.
And Devin's the worst. Devin's the one that talks about how we're privileged little babies, that we have tried magic, so we didn't have to work to get here.
He reminded me of like a B character from a fucking Harold and Kumar movie or something.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
big, just like annoying frat bro energy, but he's like secretly can wield magic as well. It's just like,
and then there's what's her name, Zendara.
Zendara, yeah.
Who's just
Zendara's the muscle mommy.
Who's just aggressive for
no reason. Very angry because you're late to the ceremony.
Aggressive. She's aggressive because she's classist, basically.
Yeah, she doesn't like him because he's the unforeseen. He's part of the underground people.
Not only is he unforeseen, but this is when like they kind of start talking about how most immortals are supposed to be noble and come from royalty, and like not only is like he a triarch or whatever they're called, but he's like an unnoble triarch. So he's like he's the worst of the worst. And this is when we find out, like, hey, you're going to go on this path, and you are going to have to try and survive. And if you do, you'll become an immortal. And if you don't,
Die, you
you'll
die.
So part of the problem I have, once again, if you're going to give me a story, I'm going to fixate on all of its issues. What are the stakes?
Well, the stakes are perceived death. And I say
No,
perceived,
not
we'll get to
on
that
the
afterwards,
challenge.
like,
What are the stakes of the world? You have an Everwar. You have two
I
warring
mean,
factions.
it's just a war. Like, why do people fight for resources and magic and use? The stakes are just.
Wait, hold on. People fight for a reason, an
Sure.
ideology, a belief. What is that belief in this?
The belief is, I don't think there is a belief. I think the problem is that
I think it's
the
just
Rishanians, the Risharians are trying to push onto their territory and fight for control of the ley lines, and Lucium is
Right.
trying to push back.
Right,
I
okay,
think,
but-
but I think that's it, though, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
but
think there's
once
a
again,
deeper...
right? Like people, like if there's, because like here's my thing. We're clearly the good guys, right? Like we're supposed to be the good guys. And then there's the evil bad guys that have masks and they look like the thing from Lord of the Rings. But like
They're
we
doing the
have a
same thing we're
classic
doing.
we have like a classist hierarchical system in which there's a bunch of fucking poor people that have nothing, and then you have these like weird inbred magic folk at the top that have a lot of opinion. It's like why would you not just give up? Because like if you're like, once again, like they can't get people to fight their war. This isn't how life works. There would be a reason. There has to be stakes. So it's like, oh, Rashawn wants to kill all of the people for this specific reason, right? But it just seems like if it's just territorial, you can just become one cohesive unit. Like, is there a physiological difference? Is there a ethical difference?
I mean, yeah, maybe there is a physiological difference between the Rishanians because they look
They came
alien.
from space.
They do look very space-like.
They're bad.
But I mean,
they
you
came
just
from the wound?
Oh yeah, maybe Rishanians are from the wound. I mean, it does look like they are quote unquote different, and the war could be like different creatures fighting for war.
Do you know what it gave me? Kind of like big, just like World War propaganda, kind of like, you know, not ask not what you can do for your country, you fucking type of shit. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's like, this is our world, and it's an honor to basically throw our lives down for the greater of our world. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, it seems, at the moment at least, seems very surface level. Like, there isn't really, like, people are fighting in this war because it's kind of like the Nazi problem, right? Like, it's like people were just fighting because Nazi bad, and it kind of seems like that. It's like people are fighting because Risharian's bad. So that's kind of like what it is.
The Nazis were bad is because they wanted to have a white super race in which didn't involve any other type of people.
Probably not the best of examples, but like,
and to be fair, I mean, we're also looking at a story with a quarter of the information, right? We don't have the full.
No, but that's the quarter of information we have doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the name of the place is. It doesn't matter what the people are. It doesn't matter that there's a weird hierarchical magic structure. What matters is, what is the motivation? Why are we fighting this war? Why does any of this matter, right? Like, why are we sacrificing 16-year-old children to go fight on the front lines of an Everwar? To what end? What do we get out of it?
I guess the other thing as well is, like, Jack as a character has known about this Everwar since he's been growing up. Like, it's been his life, is this Everwar. So it's not like you could kind of excuse that ambiguity if he was in like an area of the world that randomly got attacked by the Rishanian, and he was like new to this and he didn't know what was happening. But like, his whole life has kind of been the Everwar and people trying to like recruit for the army and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm making a comparison against it, but like the only thing that we know is that like Risharian's bad. We must kill Risharians. That's all we know.
Which again, maybe a
Lucium seems pretty fucking bad, since we're getting fucking chewed out for being a dirty street person all the time.
Exactly. Well, maybe that's what we get. We have the setup of this, and they do the trope of mixing it up, where it's like, oh, Rasharn's actually not bad as we thought they were, and people in Lucium have done some pretty fucked up shit and are pretty racist to people that are unforeseen, which is what pushes Lune to fight for Rasharn instead of fighting for Lucium.
Valid.
Maybe.
But yes, Zendara is, I guess, classist, not racist. And then we enter the weird portal world of the test for being an immortal. which once again is just
awful test.
essentially
FYI,
the control missions.
Yeah, I didn't like this. I think my favorite gameplay moments was the dragon level, the war with like that part. That was my favorite one. I do like the mobility here because we also get an ability to float. We get like a hover ability as well.
Which, okay. Once again, just a quick thing. When we're doing the tutorial originally with Kirkin, she's on like a floating platform. If she could just float, why not just do that?
Well, that floating platform can float indefinitely. We can only float for 2 seconds.
Yeah, but there's people that are just sitting there fucking floating, and she's like a super hero. So shouldn't she just be able to just float around and fly? Why does she need a platform? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't have the answers.
Yes, we learned to float.
So my thing with the path is that it doesn't feel justifiable as a test to become an elite soldier. Because
the path to get here was harder than the path to become an elite soldier.
You know what's funny too is it seems obviously because throughout this entire things we get flashes of things that are very Jack specific, not the company. Jack specific, our characters.
Jack specific.
And everyone's talking about how Jack is such a privileged little guy. Maybe his trial is also privileged because it's easier because he's like, oh, it's like
easy mode. They're like,
Well, what I was kind of expecting was like either like an enemy gauntlet of like, can you survive this like unrelenting wave of attack if you're going to be this like magical super soldier? But effectively what it is kind of just like an obstacle course.
Yeah, I don't think we do a boss fight at the end of it. No, we go through the portal, we pop out next to what's her name,
and then we win.
You defeat very easy enemies and you do some puzzles.
So
and you're like, you're a super soldier.
What kind of changed for me a little bit, and what I had the hopes for was there's a part where the path, because they talk about the path almost as this like sentient creature, like it can choose what it portrays to people, like
omnipotent, and it's
and it kind of is like out of space and time, and is self-aware, and it starts to show Jack everything that happened with Seren and with Luna and all of that stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, we're like actually going to get to the root of like why Jack joined and like what it is that's motivating Jack, and it's not really much. It kind of just like we kind of just relive everything that's Seren and then leave the portal.
This is probably giving this game way too much credit. I don't think this is the direction the game will go. But I almost think because we weren't the only one taking the test. This is a group thing. Yes. There's like 10 people. Everyone died except for us, allegedly.
And they were all wearing masks.
They're all wearing masks, which look a lot like the
evil masks, but they're not the evil masks. They're different masks. Very confusing.
I wonder if this is like they made this simple to get Jack to join them. Like they wanted Jack.
Did you not talk to everyone after the party?
No, I went to bed.
Oh, okay. So if you talk to everyone after the party, you talk to
I talked to Zendara. That was
of course you fucking did. So you you talk to like your old captain, and he now starts to call you sir, and Jack's very like, I don't like that, and he's like, well, there's protocol. And he basically says that like now Jack's an immortal, he's not allowed to socialize with the Magnite at parties because that's kind of not what's done, and it's not socially acceptable because they're different classes of people. But one of the guys
once again, hilarious.
He's basically like, well, now you're an immortal. I cannot socialize with you. He's like, that's just not how it's done. That's not what happens. Like, you have a good day, sir. And Jack's like, hang on, mate, you were my captain like 20 minutes ago. And he's like, well, I'm not anymore. But you talk to a dude who was our participant in the path. And he basically, like, he's one of the guys. Because what I will say was cool was while we were running around, there were people being crushed and people falling off the edges.
All
and there
the
was
other the people
that
doing
was
the
cool
trial
because it was kind of like, oh shit,
destroyed.
There's somebody who's trying to do the path. I spoke to a dude who was a participant, and this was his third time doing the path. And Jack's like, hang on a minute, I thought you'd die. And he's like, oh no, that's just something they say to first timers to like scare them, to try and get them to pass it first time. He was like, I've done it 3 times. But what he did say is like, you experience death. So like he experienced the feeling of being crushed and dying. And then the path spat him back out into the lobby in the real world. He said one time he went into quicksand and like suffocated in quicksand. He's like, I remember feeling that feeling of suffocation, and then I was in the
Jesus
lobby.
Christ.
So like,
You know,
it's almost like this like parallel universe that like, but if you die in there, you actually just come back to the lobby.
I guess that makes sense too, because Devin references before we go into the path that, you know, you just become essentially a part of the path of referencing the list of names. But aren't the list of names people that died in the Everwar, not that die in this? Like, wouldn't this not classify as being part of the Everwar?
No, this isn't part of the Everwar.
Yeah. So they wouldn't show up in there if you die.
Or it shows up with an asterisk.
You can't die in the path. That's it. But
that's the ultimate thing. You don't die in the path.
You don't die in the path. Yeah,
you physically die. Your spirit doesn't die.
Yes, but it's
like eventually your spirit would die if you had to experience death multiple times. My spirit would be crushed.
Which, again, brings its own kind of question now, because like, if I can take the test 7 times and then eventually pass and become an immortal, how does that make them elite warriors?
It seems like this is fabricated because they need people, or they need Jack. Maybe we'll learn why Jack is. I can't help saying Jack specific. Or it's a bad story.
It just doesn't make any sense. And they're like, oh.
Because
well,
I mean,
also,
really,
I will say, okay, benefit of the doubt, you do use all of your magic types through the thing. And so if you were a guy who's just like, oh, I just have blue magic, it would be hard.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed.
So,
but then there are all of the other immortals are single-use magic. Like Devin is blue, and I'm assuming the others
so good that they can overcome not having the other ones.
Ooh, I wonder what Kirkin is.
Okay, I reckon Kirkin's
blue. Kirkin's blue, right?
Blue. She's floating around.
She's shown the blue shield too.
Yes.
Kirkin's okay. That's not correct.
I want to know what the hell is Kirkin's like crystal arm. You see that thing where she touches her chest and it changes her symbol?
So you talk to Devin, and he leads you on this.
I'm learning. I should have talked to more people.
Well, he doesn't actually tell you anything. He is like heavily inebriated, and is like, "Oh, did she tell you the story about her arm?" And you're like, "No, what happened to her arm?" And he's like, "I don't know. She didn't fucking tell me either."
Okay, cool.
And you're like, "Cool, thank you, Devin." You
probably touched like a dragon or something she wasn't supposed to.
I reckon that she had some sort of interaction with the wound. I reckon that's why her arm is fucked up.
Interesting.
Wait, so it changes the symbol?
Yeah, she touches our like badge and it changes us to be the immortal badge, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, it changes us. Okay. Maybe it's like some Iron Man nanotech shit. I don't know.
What if she's Rasharnian?
Yo, that'd be crazy. Defector.
Damn.
I think you're giving this story a bit too much credit, though.
This was the end of this section, right?
Yes, this is all that we're going to cover.
This, so
no. You go, which we'll talk about. Jack has his crib got a huge upgrade from the rafters above the wound. He has like a penthouse suite. It's crazy. Can we waterfall in his room? It's crazy.
Can we talk also about the speech that he has to give?
I was trying to avoid it because it's so bad. When you were talking, I had passed it in the YouTube walkthrough I'm watching, and I was like, we're just not going to talk about Jack's speech because it's not good.
Well, he starts his speech with, "Hey, so when I was a kid, I had this friend that wanted to fight in the Everwar." And this is like a reoccurring side story as well, like of like Kirkin asking him like, "Why do you want to be in the war?"
Well, why is he? What's his purpose other than like my friend died and I want to be here?
Yeah, and he says to her basically like his purpose is like to prove to Luna that he can do it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Luna's dead though.
She's dead though. I mean, she's not. She's clearly the evil person.
She's the hand.
She's the hand. I mean, that is who she is, but he doesn't know that. He thinks she's dead.
Yes.
And that's going to be his moral struggle. He's like, "Lune, why are you part of Rashad?" And she's like, "Fucking Lucium's evil and corrupt." And he's like, "I don't know what to do."
He's like, "I have a penthouse with a waterfall in it now. I got lucky."
Yeah. One thing that might be interesting for the story going forward that you wouldn't have got if you didn't speak to her, but there is a lady called Ambassador Damali, and she is wearing this like red getup. She's in the corner of the room, and when you talk to her, basically what she tells you, she's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm here because of the king's absence."
Yes.
And Jack is like, "What?" And you find out that the king of the Lucinium area is absent. He's nowhere to be found, and that Kirkin is acting
king.
Like not acting. I guess she's like acting on the king's behalf during his absence,
like the
and
hand of
that's
the king, like in Game of Thrones.
kind of I guess like she's
Yeah.
kind of like that. She's ruling
She's
the
the
country,
hand.
Jeez, that
um, and that's why Ambassador Damali is there,
interesting.
because the
See,
king is absent.
it's maybe there's no follow through and it's not good, but like that, that piques my interest. That gets my little excited thought process.
We'll see
going.
if
I'm like,
that
oh,
comes
that's
up.
cool. What is that? Yeah.
Because you also talk to the seer again, and the seer,
Mm.
the seer sees all timelines at once. It seems.
I feel like then I would see nothing. There would be too much. I would be seeing nothing.
Well, because like when you talk to them, they're very like, oh, like, like if the timeline's right, we're in this, like we're at your party for the selection process, and like basically, like, so the magic is given by this thing called the Pentacode, which is this kind of like statue that's in the middle of Lucinium, and basically Orphe got red and green magic at the same time. And so they say that one lives in their right eye and one lives in their left eye, and because of
That's
this,
cool.
they're able to see different timelines, and they can kind of see how things are going to play out. But it's that typical Oracle thing of like, I know what's going to happen, but I can't tell you and I can't alter it, and like I can't do anything with the timeline because that would be messing with the timeline. So they know all of the potential outcomes of everything that's going to happen, but they can't say anything.
Classic.
Damn, that sucks. Yeah. But yeah, that is all for the first episode of Immortals of Aveum. Again, this was very setup of the world and the lore and everything, and the beginning gameplay. And I'm interested to see how the story hopefully does not let me down. But I don't really have a lot of. I don't care. It's like I'll get into my final thoughts here, but the story is it's fine. Kai, let's start with you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Immortals of Aveum so far? The beginning chapter. Some of your first impressions of Immortals of Aveum.
I mean, I think I'm not gonna harp on it. I think it's a reductive, bland interpretation of a type of thing that has been done so many times at this point. But the gameplay is fun, which is confusing because it's like I've never been more annoyed as someone who enjoys story to have story in the way of fun gameplay. It's like,
yeah, you're like, just shut up. I just want to shoot shit.
If I could just, and that's really what I hope for is like, obviously this first section was probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, a lot of like talking and dialogue and world building. And we get more into like just action of just like, just let me shoot things. Just let me upgrade my skill tree and find fun weapons and shoot things and like have a good time. And then we can have some conversations like, an hour and a half of gameplay later. So that's my hope is like the gameplay's fun for the most part. Like I find the puzzle aspect of it interesting. I find the difficulty to be fine for what it is now. Switching between magics is not the most intuitive thing on controller, but it's still, it's pretty intuitive at the end of the day. I want to see what other like fun side items you get. There's a lot of accessorizing, which I'm sure Jared's excited about. But yeah, I look like I get it. Not everyone plays games for story. Not anyone cares about story. From a like aesthetic perspective, it's fine. It's like steampunk meets medieval. It looks okay. The character design is fine. So it's fine. It's just if you dig into any part of it too deeply, I have a feeling you're probably going to be disappointed. So
yeah,
we'll just coast on the surface of what the Immortals of Avium is.
Coast on the vibes. Just focus on the vibes.
Doom in a different skin with
this is fantasy Doom. This is more fantasy Doom than Doom Eternal.
Yes.
Not Doom Eternal. Dark Ages.
Doom Dark Ages.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Ben, how you feeling about Immortals of Aveum here at the start?
Fine. Like this game is like it's like capital of okay, right? Like kind of like we've said all the way through. Thankfully the gameplay is quite fun, and running around and blasting shit with magic is actually really fun. I do I do think that the game kind of drops too much lore too quickly, and is really kind of hard to suss out what's happening. I think at the end of chapter 5, I've kind of got a grip of what's going on, but it feels very, very overwhelming at first. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to harp on about the story again. Like we've covered enough of it already. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm interested to see. I do have a very, very strong suspicion that Luna is going to be the hand. Now you've said that, that kind of makes sense. Probably Kirkin isn't as good as she seems. I'm sure. I really hope the Rashanians have a reason for everything they're doing outside of we just want territory. Like why do they need all that magic? What is it about having all of that access to the ley lines? Is there some bigger plan, like they need magic to be able to close the wound? Like maybe that's something like the wound is infecting the world and they need access to a high level of magic, a high amount of magic to close the wound, and that's they're actually trying to save the world, but they're doing it in a very fucked up way. I don't know. Yeah, overall, so far it's fine, and I guess we'll just kind of go along for the ride. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. Like all the faults and stuff, like I'm here for it. I'm glad that the game in its state now is only 14 hours long, or like 10 to 13 or whatever. Like if
40 hours of this would be interesting.
Yeah, 40 hours of this would be a lot.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's like a nice succinct little number. But we'll have to see. Now we're an immortal. Maybe we'll get access to privy information. We'll actually sort of learn some bits about what's actually happening.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time with Immortals of Aveum.
It is fun. I will say that. If nothing else, it is fun.
I recognize all the stuff that you guys are talking about and completely agree with the story stuff. Damn, it is not great. It is very, but again, I think there's something about the camp that just I'm not taking too seriously. That I'm enjoying the. It's weird because we talk about like the war. It feels like this game's like at war with itself between it's like being serious and being goofy and having these stakes and having no stakes. So I'm just not taking anything too seriously, right? I like the theory craft, which is half the fun of this podcast is theory crafting about what's going to happen in the narrative, which is the fun part. I'm not too invested into the story to care too much. I'm invested in this fun gameplay, and maybe it's because we're on the heels of playing a game that took much more brain power from me with the Drifter, with all the puzzles and everything. This is the perfect like turn my brain off, shoot some medieval alien looking things. The game looks pretty. I fought a dragon. Like it's hard to complain with all the stuff that's going on here. It's kind of a nice, perfect. I'm not gonna say like I'm using this as the moniker for like fine game. It's like that 7 out of 10 game. Not saying I'm giving this game a 7, but it's like kind of that idea of a package where it's like I recognize this isn't good. I'm having fun with it anyways. I'm having a good time. I'm excited to see how this goes forward, especially with I know we already have a slew of abilities, but I'm excited to see kind of what other things they give us to use at our disposal.
Yeah.
This game has a 69 on Metacritic, which nice. Someone gave this game an 100, which is kind of crazy.
Every game is somebody's favorite game, I guess, right? Like
the highest score on Metacritic, this is critics review, not random randos, is 100, and the lowest is a 40. Eurogamer gave it a 40.
Critic gave this 100?
A critic gave this 100. Yes.
They should have their critic license taken away.
Impulse Gamer gave this 100.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Like I said, every game is someone's favorite, Ben.
I just didn't expect it to be a critic's favorite. I don't know.
Someone that it's their job to review and talk about games in a not critical way, because games at the end of the day, hey, I hate to break you guys.
Maybe they haven't played a game since like they were in a coma and they haven't played a game since like 2002.
They just fucking broke their brain.
This is incredible.
Yo, 2002 Jared would do a backflip playing this game. I would have a blast playing something like this. I'd be like, yo, Kai is like Jack and Dexter, but the shooter.
It looks so pretty. Yeah.
It's so pretty. Well, yeah, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for getting to the end of the episode as always. In next week's episode is going to be the next chapter of Immortals of Aveum. We're going to be playing through chapter 6, which is the Hand of Sandrak. Is that his name? To chapter 10, the Order of the Mask. So excited to see.
Maybe we'll
what
finally
comes
get a
out of that.
mask like all the other characters in this game.
Honestly, I love the customization things with the arm piece. I want to customize Jack's outfit. I want to give Jack a new outfit. I want to give him a cool mask. Give me customizables, even if it doesn't translate to the cutscenes. That's fine with me. I just like playing dress up. I just want to.
You are an outfit slut, aren't you? You do love it.
Yeah,
you really yes.
I 100% completed Jedi Fallen Order just to get all of the cosmetic collectibles. That's why I got the platinum in that game, was for all the cosmetics. Yes, that's going to be next week's episode. So if you haven't, grab the game. If you want to join the conversation, we have a thread on Discord now for Immortals of Aveum for the new season of the book club. So come join the conversation. There's at least a handful of people that are playing with us, and some people that are just like, I'm not going to play that, which is fine. Not every game is for everybody. And later on this season, we're gonna have some fun guests. Episode 3, I believe we have Will from Friday Night Gamecast, who's gonna come on to talk about the penultimate episode. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, Matt Storm again will come and join us for the finale. So if by then we are jaded and down for this game, you can yell at Matt, and Matt will be on here live. You can tell him, how dare you recommend this to us. And then you can yell at me for picking it because I decided to choose it. So, but until then, again, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show as always. And we'll see you all next week. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Just